one. We just go ahead and get started, man.
Test the skills.
Hey! Yeah. Yeah.
It's warm outside. It's been
Yeah.
It's warm outside. Let's
what?
go, y'all.
It's the Porch Podcast. Come on, And it's the Porch Podcast. Yeah. And it's the Porch Podcast. Come on. What? And it's the Porch Podcast. It's the Porch Podcast. It's time to shine. Porch Podcast, episode 79. Porch Podcast got an old school rhyme. Porch Podcast, cause you know it's summertime. Look at P's face. Look at the twist. I don't really care. Get off your shit. It's influential. I'm back and flowing to the game. Influential is the name, and you know I got the flame in it. The color's blue, but no, I'm not crippin' though. It's just the hottest flame in the story though. Yo, you know how it really go. Porch Podcast, and you know why? It's the Porch Podcast. Come on, it's the Porch Podcast. Hey P, it's the Porch Podcast. Come on, what?
Yes,
and it's
sir.
the Porch Podcast. Let's go. Man, welcome to the Porch Podcast. Welcome to the Porch Podcast. It's your boy DJ E, Mr. Influential, and I'm rocking with my brother, man.
Be original, baby.
P, talk to him.
Hey, man. Summertime.
Hey, summertime. Drums, please.
Drums, please.
Right.
Hey, man. Welcome to episode number 79. We're going to be diving into the conversation about summertime. You know? And, we're going to do a little reflecting on some of the previous summers, and then we're going to have to bring it all the way up to the now. Because life is different. Life is different, but the seasons never change. The calendar changes, the dates on the calendar, people change, but seasons, like summertime, man, when they come, it's a whole nother ball game.
It's a whole nother ball game.
It's a whole nother ball game.
Everybody think they cooler.
Up. Yeah.
In the hot weather, everybody think they cooler.
Right. Now, I'm going to jump right into this conversation. Let me tell y'all something. Men of a certain age, stop wearing them shorts, man, look like bros.
Them hoochie daddy shorts.
Stop that, man.
Yeah.
If you graduated from high school in the 90s,
yeah.
Stop wearing them. I'm telling you, man, you're just gonna mess up something in your body. I don't know for sure what it would be.
Right.
But everything ain't for us, man.
Nah.
Everything is not for everybody. Now, the season summertime is for us. You should find, he kept it real with me, you know what I mean? I walked around for quite some time with oversized clothes. So when I started to think about how I needed to make my adjustments, I needed to find out what kind of clothes I was going to wear from season to season. Right? And we talked about it. I was talking to Cuz the other day. Me and him was talking about, tailored suits and all of these different things. So you don't look, boxy off the rack and all of that. So I just want to jump right into the part of the summertime where we're going to talk about these clothes.
Right.
I'm going to say this. It's a difference between it being your size, right, and it not being. For the people who used to wear them, sisters, it's a reason why jellies went out of style. Like, I remember jellies when we were little.
Everybody had them.
Everybody had them. And you could tell who was playing in the back alley because when they took them off, it looked like they still had the jelly on.
Yeah.
You know how they had a little look like a little cage or something across their foot?
Yeah.
It's time for that. If you still got that dirt spot like that now,
you wore too many jellies.
Not only that, but that's trifling. That's a word you probably ain't heard in a while, trifling.
Damn.
But I'm saying that to say because there are some pleasant things about the summertime that I remember coming up as as a child. And one of the main things that I could remember was block parties, right? Remember that? Okay. But the other thing I can remember, was the ice cream truck, man.
Right.
Last time you seen the ice cream truck, bro?
Honestly, just now. It was.
Okay,
they still come down my street. Just roll past.
I think that one ice cream truck is serving the entire East Coast because it ain't got down here yet. This must be busy in your area, maybe jumping around.
Nah, seriously, that's crazy. I literally was just outside.
I believe it. I believe it. But what I'm saying is that, there are some things that I wish that we could bring in from our childhood in our younger years into these summers.
Remember they said that ice cream truck used to sell rock back in the summertime? The one back at it. Don't say the name, P, because you was ready to. But they used to say that one that was still out to like 11, 17.
Everybody know on this show who the snitch is. It ain't never been me. And since there's only 2 people on the show, I mean, process of elimination.
I never said the names, man. I never used to say names of people, man.
I didn't even bring it up. I remember what you're talking about, but the names have been changed to protect the innocent, like they used to say on some of them shows. You know, hence, Petey, and other names.
Yeah, Merlin.
Right. Now, I do. Let me see. I got to say this, man. I got to say this. One thing that I've loved every summer, man, it's probably going to put me in the perv category real quick.
Oh, shit.
Sundresses.
I knew that was coming.
I can have an appreciation for them, man. It's the truth,
Yeah.
Forgive me, babe.
It's crazy.
I'm not telling you I'm looking at everybody. I'm looking at your sundresses. But what I'm saying is,
yeah,
I can have an appreciation for them.
I'm gonna tell you what I have appreciation for in the summertime.
What's that?
Cheese fries at Weston Little League. Cheese fries. Yeah, the cheddar. They the only place I want cheddar cheese, like the cheese sauce on. Everybody else, I want mozzarella, but they was the only ones I was cool with. Cheese fries.
How about the funnel cakes?
I had real powdered sugar, P. I don't know where you trying to go with. I seen your face, you know what I mean? What you call it, confectionate sugar?
Yeah. You be looking for them in the wintertime. You be there. I remember when we was younger, you used to go down there and knock on that thing, even though it was closed. It wasn't no baseball season or nothing. So I need a funnel cake. That's when I realized that it was a little more than just some dominoes on it. But yeah, man, I'm glad that the summertime is back, man. I have a real I think it changes your feelings, right? I think it changes, coming out of your hoodies and coming out of your your coats and your scullies and all those type of things, and being able to just walk outside, sit on your porch. Us being the porch brothers, we have an appreciation for those times where you really can do that.
Right.
And I think some of my fondest moments, like I said, just as a child, just even as an adult, that's when I do a little bit more traveling because the weather's nicer. It's just a time where your mind shifts, man, and you become a little bit more creative.
Right.
In my opinion, at least for me, you know what I mean? And I just felt it was, fitting, we're early into the summer, and everybody was working hard trying to get their summer bodies ready. And, I'm going to get this done. I'm going to work on this diet. I'm going to do all of these different things. And now we're here.
Right.
Now we're here. So, what's one of the main things that if I could say, all right, so besides the cheese fries, because you already acknowledged that, an event, that's something that took place, like pretty much, I believe it was in the summertime. It's like one of the events that I would jump out and say it's like Heritage Day.
We gonna always say Heritage Day. Yeah, I believe it's sometime, but Heritage Day is gonna always stick out.
Heritage Day. Mm-hmm. Do you miss Heritage Day?
Absolutely. And I think what damaged Heritage Day is once we took out the commons, once we took the bricks out and made State Street to be able to just be wide open like that there in Trenton.
Yep.
It changed it because they continue to have it and have it over at Mill Hill Park and everything, and they still do things like they're gonna have a summer concert series this year in Mill Hill Park, 10 shows. I'm actually supposed to DJ some of the dates. You know what I mean?
That's what's up, bro.
Yeah, but that's coming this summer in Mill Hill, and it's gonna be nice. You always got good people to come turn out because they come sit, relax, listen to some good music. You got a band, and in between, we still do things like First Fridays on Front, and they got Fridays on Front down at the Smokehouse, music by Father Ramsey, and they have First Fridays there as well, and they also have it on what's that? Warren Street. Yeah, Warren Street.
Okay.
Um,
Okay.
And the one on Warren Street be hosted by DK every first month, every first Friday of the month. But
Okay. Shout out to
downtown,
bro.
yeah, downtown just be really lit up. So they do things that make you kind of remember it, but nothing. I really feel like nothing was better than Heritage Day, because in that part of the Commons where we were able to just stand, and people that live in LA that watch the show, it's sort of like how the Grove Mall is. That's how the Commons was for us.
No doubt.
You know what I mean? So
Yep.
some years back, they took up the street, and now it's just street. If you notice, downtown was never the same after they did that.
Right.
It was never the
No,
same.
it
'Cause
wasn't. It wasn't.
It was really never the same after you did that. Like,
Nah.
you know, to
I
this
remember
day,
how upset you were, bro. I remember how
Yeah.
upset you because, like you said, they took the bricks out. And you know how you feel when they move the bricks. Yeah. So, you know, I'm just telling you, I'm just putting it out there. But no, I mean, it's just a difference. Right? No, I get it. Sorry. A little too much too soon. Nah, I mean, I sit there and I think about it. Like, even with our kids, right? Think
Right.
about this, man. Amusement park wise.
Mm-hmm.
I think my kids look at it as the local yokel situation would be, in our case, you know, Six Flags, right?
Right.
So you can take Six Flags, you know, they go to that and boom. You know, to them, that's like, oh, that's just the average joint.
Mm-hmm.
Where for us, that was a step up, you know, because, bro, we had little carnivals. You know, we
Right.
had Father Rocco, man. I
Father
remember
Rocco, that was another thing. That's another thing. That wasn't even
They
summertime.
would give you, you know, tickets. You know what I'm saying? They would give you tickets if you did what you needed to do.
I thought that was me. I know that was over there, but go ahead.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they would give you tickets to
Right.
do what you need to do. You know what I'm saying?
At school. Remember rappers and
Remember
everything
that?
used to come to Father Rocco. Kid and Play.
Yeah, bro. Yeah, didn't what's their name? Dies Effects come or something?
Dials Effects came one time. Redman was with him. You know what I mean? But see,
Hey, oh my
here's
gosh,
here's the thing people gotta remember. And it makes sense now. We never thought about it like this, bro. That was in the early 90s. So
I don't remember exactly.
nah, it was in the early 90s because I was getting it in elementary school.
Okay.
So if I was receiving it in elementary school, I graduated from the 6th grade 92? Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, about 92, 93,
Gotcha.
something like that. Right. So I remember getting them then, but then think about it. Redman was Brick City. He was right there. So somebody said, yo, we want you to perform at this carnival in Trenton. He like, oh, all right, let's go.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? Because you got to remember, he used to be, I think, Dies Effects or EPM. He used to be their DJ at one time.
Right.
A lot of people ain't know about that with Redman. You see what I'm saying? So
Right.
things was different. Like things was different back then, man. And Trenton was definitely a fun place to be as a kid in the summer in the 90s. You know,
Absolutely.
It really was, man. Even with crack being around, I'm not trying to be funny or nothing, but even with crack being around, kids were still able to have fun.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you know, I think that. Well, you know, the power of being able to do more with less is something that allows you to be able to appreciate, you know, the next level of certain things. So like you said, bro, it was an incentive to do what you needed to do to get you a free ticket to go to a neighborhood park.
Right.
Right. And you had the neighborhood swimming pools. You had like Hetzel's and all those different pools.
Father Rocco again.
Father Rocco again. You know what I mean?
Martin Luther King pool.
Exactly, bro. You know, these were bonuses.
All of them.
Yep.
Yeah.
These were bonuses that allowed you to be able to go to these things. But like, it was a big deal, right? Now just think about that. Like, we had that in the summer. We had block parties. We had, we had the skating ring. You know what I mean? And at one point they sprung skating up top, right there by the courts down the way.
Right. Mm-hmm.
When Jokers was outside skating on the tennis court like it was an actual skating ring. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And like a lot of those things, I do miss those. I think that was very helpful. It was very entertaining. You know, it helped parents, it helped kids, it helped the social element of people. You know what I mean? It was just a great thing. So some of those things I do wish that we could have brought into this, this part of summertime. But I mean, we are what we are, and the world, evolves. Evolution is something that's going to take place.
Yeah, some of us.
But I ain't gonna front. I do miss certain things, like you said. I miss downtown. Like I haven't gone to downtown Trenton, and that's a shame because I remember we used to work down there. The patronize any businesses or anything.
You hate to say it, but what can I get downtown that I can't get nowhere else? That's how it feels now. So it's good to say that we didn't necessarily go downtown for the things. We went downtown because that might have been the spot. That might have been where people was. Because it's like, okay, I could go around here to Columbus, and when I go to Columbus, I go around the corner and go over there in front of Center City. I'm going to see somebody I know, and we're going to have a good conversation.
No doubt.
Damn, boom, I got the Jordans and stuff on. Now we young boys. We walking like it might be a young lady over there. Look at you, look good. Hey, baby, what's up? You know what I mean? Like, that's just what it is. Which, if you realize now, the biggest attraction downtown is the First Fridays because of the people. See, I go down there, and as you can see, if you look at the title right there, I put summertime, I put the S with a $sign. I go down there and show face because even though I'm not there at the gig, I'm supporting the gig, and I'm getting gigs, booking jobs while I'm there. Because it's like, man, I was looking for you. Man, listen, you could do my such and such and such. Yeah, I could do your such and such and such. I'm open that day.
Exactly.
Because downtown in Trenton was always the meeting spot. That's just what it was. But it changed. Now certain things, events got to happen for you to run into people downtown. Where before, when the comments went all the way through, you just go downtown every day. Shout out to Chad, man. Shout out my boy Chad. You know what I mean? Chad used to just hang out downtown.
Yeah.
He used to come in the sneakers. Chad would just hang out downtown, man.
Oh, word. Yeah.
And shout out, man. He rest in peace. I love cousin Ernie. Ernie used to ride the motorcycle downtown, just park and sit there and chill.
You're absolutely right, bro.
But once the street opened up, that stopped.
No, you're right.
A lot of that stopped. I'm telling you, man. Downtown was the spot. You can get you some good food. You can run into some good people. And a lot of madness that used to happen downtown. It wasn't like people was getting robbed and all that crazy. It wasn't like that. Well, at least what I would see, you know what I mean? So
Nah. And it was funny because it closed down actually at 6 for the most part. Most of the stuff. Like, you can still come to certain things down there.
Still go to Popo's.
Still go to Popo's. You had a few things. The pizza shops and stuff would still be open down there. Maxine's. Was a big deal. So anybody who remember how those things used to be, it was year round. But the summertime was just like East. Man, you could come down there. Jokers would catch the bus downtown. You could walk downtown.
Right.
It's funny. And I know downtown wasn't the only thing about the summertime, but I think when everybody got that neighborhood, that area, that centralized meeting place.
Right.
That in the summer it had so much more. Like there in Calwood Park.
I was about to say.
Jump out on it.
Yeah.
Right. So let's like we can bring that up. Summertime.
Summer league.
Summer league basketball. There's certain things that we used to just could have, like you said, even the baseball, like you were saying, like all those different things. Like there's parts of it that I wish that could come back. And I know that we can't get them back the way we used to.
Well, shout out to.
But I wish we could.
Pre-COVID, before COVID, they started going over to the park across from Joyce Kimmer when we went to school at, and they had the softball tournament, softball league for the men, and they had the kickball for the women, and they really was making teams out of different North Trenton, South Trenton, West Trenton. You know what I mean? They had squads,
really?
and it you was bro. That's when you was going through your joint and you was just relaxing. But yeah, I used to go out there. I used to literally just ride out there, man, pull up, get out, and everything was cool. Police officers and everything used to be out there chilling because just as a presence. But they had started a softball. Remember the big baseball field where the Killer Clowns and shit used to be at back in the day, right across from the school, right? Yeah, that's
shout out to that cousin. Shout out to that cousin because everybody had one cousin that aired one of them out.
Yeah, that beat one up and left blood in his hat and shit. You know what I mean? Every summer.
It made it hard to have a van, man. Anybody had a little van.
Yeah.
And,
unless you
little heart window or something.
Unless you was Dops. You know what I mean? Everybody knew Dops van, but but supposedly.
They knew that wasn't no killer clown in it.
Right, yeah. So, but that big field right over there, the little baseball, bro, they was playing softball and kickball at that field, and it was a dope league, man. People used to come out there with their chairs. You had it was always a brother start selling chicken and fish with his tray. He just pull his truck up. Ain't even eating the movie. Ain't even need to ride through the city. Ice cream, man, was there, everything. But it was dope. But I think COVID shut that down. You know, they honestly just formed their own league. People had on straight uniforms. Anybody that's watching, man, you know, shout out to y'all, man. You know what I mean? If you could bring it back, bring it back. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Anybody who had a hand in that, who can have an influence on it. I'm going to tell you, man, I know that there's an inherited fear for a lot of things to take place right now because people look at the world in its present state.
Right.
Right? And when they look in the world in its present state, it's kind of tough for them to see how those things can be successful. But remember, man, before there was a now, there was a then.
Right.
You know what I mean? You know, there was a time where things were really simple, and it wasn't that complicated. And you had people that would get involved and be able to make sure that those things take place. Like I said, man, even down to the block parties where you had individual blocks that it was just, bro, I mean, like, the electric slide is a dance that's universally known all over the place. And one of the places that most people learned it and performed
is at a block party.
Is at a block party.
Yeah.
It was a block party, a cabaret, some kind of family function or whatever. But the block parties were when you got all of the wisdom on your block together. For those who don't know what they were. And for those who do, you're sitting there reminiscing, probably thinking about it right now as we speak about it.
Right.
Like, it was when, those old barrel grills came out and when those other things came out and when people were out there with the, I guess what they call them, beach chairs for lack of terms, like the one that Cam and, the one that like Dipset and them had on the verses. Like, it was a bunch of chairs and stuff like that out there like that. And
they still do those things in New York. They still do those things in New York.
Yeah, because because in those areas, especially in those boroughs like that, like you know what I mean? Like, that's vital.
Right.
That's vital for them. But I miss those things, and it cannot be impossible to bring them back. I promise y'all, it cannot be impossible. The summertime was a sacred time. I mean, you had kids that, they came out, they enjoyed themselves, they were safe. We got to figure out how to get back to that, y'all. We got to figure out, we got to at least try it, man. We got to at least figure it out. We make jokes about the ice cream trucks and all that type of stuff and all that, But there's a reality that's there, man. We got to figure out how to at least try it, y'all.
And it can happen everywhere because every year in August, if I'm not mistaken, man, the first Tuesday in August, it's National Night Out. That's all across the country.
Yeah.
Where they want you to come out, cook on the grill and everything, just come outside. Just come outside. You know what I mean?
Get to know your neighbors, man. You got, man, bro, I got people. I don't know everybody on my name, on my street name. I don't. But I know quite a few people in my little subdivision. You know what I mean? Whatever, my neighborhood. And, I walk my neighborhood. I make videos all the time.
Right.
I meet people. There was people. I've been here for 10 years.
Right.
And it doesn't, walking around and not knowing a person's name who lives right across the street from you for the last 10 years.
Right.
Like, to me, is ridiculous. It's almost unheard of. It would have never, ever happened.
Right.
At any other point. So somewhere with us, and that's why our kids are a little bit different, somewhere with us, we switched it up.
Right.
I don't know if it became a thing where it was never uncool, like everybody was Mr. or Mrs. something, that was older than you. You respected them. I mean, it was a different situation. Like, bro, we got driveways now. I know this seems like on subject, off subject, but we got driveways.
Nah.
And garages.
I'm gonna tell you what I used to do.
Right. Back in the day,
go ahead.
We used to argue, right? Or I can remember Pop used to feel a type of way if somebody parked in front of your crib.
Right, right.
Knowing that we lived on a public street and parking is where the availability.
As soon as he pulled around, who the fuck caused this?
Right. He was highly upset, right?
Yeah.
And it was bad in the wintertime, but even worse in the summertime because why?
Right.
Because everybody on the street be their own car wash.
Right.
They come outside, they want to, wash him down, hose him down.
Shout out to the young boy who knocked on my door yesterday asking to wash my cars. Told him I was all right though, but shout out to him. You know what I
Well,
mean?
shout out to him. You know what I mean?
Yeah, he
And
trying to hustle.
somebody told him about that hustle, bruh.
Yeah.
Young brother like that, somebody dropped that jewel on him. Look, man, look, going out there, man, earn a couple bucks, bruh. All you gonna need is this, that, and the third, and you can get your car
He
washed.
had a
You know,
bucket
wash your
with a
car and get it
sponge
done.
and some soap and some little bit of
That's
soap.
it.
That's all he
Yeah.
had.
And what he was gonna do is ask whoever car he was washing, can I use your hose?
That's it.
You know what I'm saying? And I'm not mad at that. And
Uh-uh.
and I think that if we can get some of those summertime things back, with it now being summertime at the present moment, I think that there's a chance that we can recover, man, some of the magic that we had coming up as kids, man.
We can.
I think that we can do that. You know what I mean? And I think it's vital. I think we need it. I think it's enough things going on in the world that are, you know, clear on why we need it.
Yeah.
And that's, we got to
I
figure
think
it out, man.
I think what we have to do is we have to reverse it.
Okay.
And what I mean by that is inflation is real. So when inflation comes like this, man, they expect frustration. They expect people to scramble and have fear. They expect people to take everything personal, get upset with everybody, and shout out to episode 78, lose love. But what we have to do is when inflation hits, when things like this happen, we have to come together. We have to come in more together. We have to do more things together. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Something is cool, like you said, just coming out, having a conversation with your neighbor. Or you might be one of these people who have a big family and you want to throw an event. And when throwing an event, sometimes you might not know how. And you might just need a little bit of extra push or some guidance.
Absolutely.
I got somebody for you. Just sit back and look at it.
Look, check it out. Let's get that stress off your plate. All right? Got that big event coming up, and you don't want to have to do all the work. I got a company for you, full service event company that's going to take care of all of your event planning needs. That's www.fncevents.com. A full service event planning company. Take all the stress off your head, kick back and enjoy the party. Once again, that's www.fncevents.com. Head on over there, get that party booked, and get it done. Back to the show. Absolutely.
Front and center events. But
Absolutely.
like I was saying, man, we got to come more together. You know what I mean? And create memories and create the good times, because we're going to get through this like anything else. You know, gas being $6 and $7 is crazy. You know what I mean? Food going high. Man, it was a DJ. Shout out to DJ Sus One, New York DJ. He put a video up today, and it was Aaron Hall playing "I Miss You." I'm talking to you, baby. He was showing how you can get 4 bags of Doritos for $1. It was showing how, gas when it was, at times when it was 99 cents for super, all that type of shit, man. You just play it in the background. I miss you.
I'm talking to you, baby.
Yeah, that was that shit, though. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Nah, I mean, I think that. So, like, all right. Here's the reason why I say summertime is the opportune time, right? They say an idle mind is a devil's workshop.
Right.
Right? And I believe part of what's going on is that we have found that when it comes to people, if you don't give them something of substance, I ain't just saying kids, but adults as well, they will become creative, and everybody doesn't know how to be, creative in a positive sense.
Right.
One of the things that I can definitely say that was a little bit concerning for me is that I feel like if we let it get too far gone,
right,
we'll lose the essence. Like, if we were sitting in a room full of other people, bruh, who remember the same things that we're talking about in reference to summertime,
right,
they would all have a story or something that took place. Oh, I remember when Mr. What's the name did this, or it was funny because we had that, or I remember when somebody, knocked over the cooler and it had all the quarter waters in it. It would be a number of different things that we can all relate to.
right.
And the beauty of it is although it may have been being done in different locations, they would sound so similar that we could all still come together and have those conversations, whether we attended the same block parties, the same Heritage Day situation, or any of those things.
Mm-hmm.
I know in my where I live at, like I said, there's one of my neighbors who is good at like getting everybody together. Um, and last couple of years he's been throwing the Juneteenth,
Mm-hmm.
celebration. And like I said, man, I made it more of my business this last year to get to know more of my neighbors by name, you know, um, and just make it more of a thing where I made it a little bit more, hey, how you doing, such and such, or whatever their name
Yeah.
is, versus just waving from a distance. Because
Yeah.
if I'm going to be an advocate of understanding the value of being a community, right? If
Mm-hmm.
we're going to be advocates of that and bringing back the summertime vibes and the element of it, and sitting outside and it's late and laughing and talking about any of those things that took place,
Mm-hmm.
I got to make sure that I make an effort to actually learn who these people are, right?
Right.
And if I do that, I'll be able to set a better example. Like my children don't even really interact with the kids
Mm-hmm.
that they live in the same neighborhood with. Most of their friends are in their, in their extracurricular things that they do. You know what I mean?
Right. Mm-hmm.
So if they don't live here, the era of where me and you went outside and we would go and knock on different doors,
Mm-hmm.
you know what I mean? And we would try to get different people to come outside, our homeboys and everybody. That situation is so far gone. My fear is that if you can't capture that essence in the summertime,
Right.
how do you stand a chance any other time?
Well, I can honestly say my youngest, she's very cool with her, with her homegirl live across the street.
That's good.
They come outside to play. There's a lot of times I done came home on a summer day. I don't even pull in the driveway because they out there drawing something in chalk. You know what I
Okay.
mean? Just let them
Good.
rock out with it. Um, Even in the wintertime, man, they come outside. They on their bikes, hoverboards. They walk to the bus stop every morning. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
They happen to go to the same school. It's cool. Everything fly because what's dope is that the fact that they don't go to public schools around here. So them going to the same school. What's the odds of a person living right across the street from you and y'all going to the same place when you don't go to the local public school? You see what I'm saying? So
Right.
they was meant to be that way. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Um, on top of that, it's like I've been here almost 4 years, and my neighbor right across the street, I remember when they had the young baby. Now the little boy walking. It's like, I guess it is. I don't know. As soon as he see me, he gets psyched up. He just come down the drive. I gotta meet him in the street because he try to run in the street. And then I walk over there, and it's like he's a little African dude. He sound like he be saying, "My brother," and he give me a hug and everything. I be cracking up. I swear to God, though, that's how I be. I be like, "What's up, man? What's up, man? Give me five." And I walk him back up the driveway because I don't want him to run out in the street.
Yeah. Yeah.
But he
Nah,
get
I get
amped
it.
up when he see me, and it's like, yeah, that's the dude who live across the street. That's him. There you go,
Exactly.
like that. But he only about probably maybe two. You know what I mean? So,
Okay.
you just want to have that type of energy, man, in your own
Yeah.
community, in your own neighborhood, man. You know,
Yeah. Yeah. I
you know what I
just think
mean?
it helps, man. I think it helps with a lot of different things, man. I mean, I think it also answers a lot of why we see what we see.
Mm-hmm.
I just honestly believe that. Like, we had more incentive, man. We had, a lot of things to look forward to. You didn't
Mm-hmm.
want to be the person who missed out. Man, you had jokers that would be out there like we used to talk about cutting the grass and, doing whatever you had to do to get your money together so you can get to the mall, so you can get your little hookup to wear. So for when Heritage Day came, you'll be ready to go.
Right.
I can remember even getting to the point where, you grew up and I was working somewhere else and I would still come down just to get a funnel cake and this, you get caught up out that joker, seeing
Mm-hmm.
people that you ain't seen, like I said, in a while. But
Mm-hmm.
it take a thing like Heritage Day, and here we have it. You know what I mean? So it's just
Right.
like it can't be. We can't have more resources and outlets. You know what I mean? I.e., social media, and be incapable of actually navigating our kids and putting things back in place that once were. it's impossible to me that we can't
Right.
accomplish that. Like how it's
Right.
more of a choice and not circumstantial.
Right. I think one of the funnest summers I had in a long time, some years back, when I had spring going into summer when I was coaching T-ball,
Okay.
because it reminded me of us being kids, like where we was at in the
Exactly.
park. You know, I was able to get them
Right.
cheese fries.
Right.
Walked up there, watched the summer league game. You know.
Right.
You
Now,
know?
did you see any 3-year-olds that had the talent that you had for two-hand touch? I'm just trying to figure out, was any of them out there that you recognized that had the special skill set that you had when you was 3?
Yeah, in
Any of
T-ball.
them
Though.
out there?
In T-ball, yeah.
No, football. Any of them?
Nobody was playing football.
Okay.
Only me.
They probably
I'm
didn't
the
have
only
many.
one to play. I'm the only one to play at 3. I told
Oh.
you. I'm the only one to play at 3. We already know this now, man. We know this. We know this shit, okay? Right? I was a legend, man. 3 years old.
Yeah.
Juke
You
moves and
definitely
everything.
was.
Yeah,
Yeah,
man.
absolutely.
In the
I
street.
think you were just trying to learn how to walk. You called it a juke, you know.
Nah, no,
3,
I knew how to. I was walking at 1.5. What you mean, man? 3, I'm touchdowns, man. Sweet feet, bitch, like Rudy on the Cosby Show. Who is you? Come on, P. It's me now. At 3.
Listen. Sweet feet at 3. All right, hey, listen. I mean, but I think that, like you said, just having fun with the youth and being able to teach them something and spend time with them. Like I said, man, there were so many things that I miss. But then there's also things, like I said, we was talking about just, the outfits and stuff like that. Like, man, I looked at some of those albums and old pictures, man, and you know, I'm glad I figured some things out. I'm glad we figured some things out, man. You know, but you look at a guy like Spice Adams, right?
Right.
Shout out to Spice Adams. There's certain things that he do, bruh, that come back. We laugh, but it was real. Like the Bluetooth, the Motorola Bluetooth, bruh, the one that had the little point on it. It's the flip out.
Right.
I think back to those people, and like that was amazing back then, right? 'Cause
Mm-hmm.
you had to be somebody to really have that Bluetooth,
Yeah, the boom mic.
boom mic. But when you think about the cookouts, you think about that person that was just like who Spice Adams was imitating,
Yeah.
and you think about what those times meant, man.
I still see him, though, P. I still see him in my profession that I'm in.
I'm quite sure.
That's Uncle
quite
John
sure.
John.
That's Uncle John. I'm
Yeah.
quite sure. You know what I mean? And because of that, like when you think about those cookouts, those spade games, you think about all of those things that took place in the backyard. The one,
Right.
person that had a little too much, of the yellow cooler, or a little too much of the little yellow igloo. The
Yep.
ones that they said, no, this ain't for kids over here, man.
Right.
Stay, y'all stay over here. Get your quarter waters and your hug juices.
Mm-hmm.
For that person that was out in the backyard snoring, and they said, leave him alone, man. Leave him alone.
Leave him alone. Leave him alone. Flies on
Let him
his
sleep
face.
it off.
Yeah,
Yep.
you don't even
Let him
feel it.
sleep it off. I miss those moments.
Right.
I miss those moments.
Right.
And I just, my concern is that once again, we'll let it get too far before it's able to be recaptured.
Right. I
And we need it.
can say that those moments are still captured. I think a lot of people do them more personal than open, because, like we always say, the streets are unforgiving. Like, they don't discriminate on who's out there. You be at the wrong place at the wrong time, and things just don't work right. But we can't let fear be what shuts things down forever. You know what I mean? Because if you're in one of these families where you're not at the ones where they throw the cookouts and the parties at the house and the events at the house, and all you do is be at the house, then you're not going to understand the real world. Whereas, like, man, we did a lot as kids, bro. We was in parades and shit. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
We was down Heritage Day.
Yeah.
Of course, we went to all those carnivals, and it came from a mom that came up in the hood.
No doubt.
Because our father had no fear. So
No doubt.
but You know, if
They still ain't made nothing he's scared of.
right, that's what I'm saying. But if the mother, I think in most houses, as the man too, if the mom has some fear about the children being in a certain place in certain areas, the father's going to want them to feel safe and comfortable, and he's just not going to force it. I understand that clearly.
Yep.
So I think the fact that our mom was from the hood, she like, look, they got Heritage Day, man. That's been there since I was a kid. We gonna go rock out.
No doubt.
They got the carnival.
Go check it.
Yeah. And Pop be like, all right, we all going. And that's how we got to get around and get to know everybody and get involved. Again, like when you decided to play football, you know, Pop became the trainer, mom over there cooking on the grill selling hot dogs. See what I'm saying?
Yeah.
When I decided to play basketball, Pop became a coach. You feel me?
Yep.
So, because it was like, listen, man, like, listen, this Trenton, this the community, this where we at. This what it is. You know what I mean? So even what you saying, it still starts with the adults and the grown-ups that want to do these things. A lot of people say it all the time, man, I miss Heritage Day. Okay, so what steps are you going to try to take to help bring it back?
None.
See what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's just how it is, you know?
Yeah. Because you know what? Behind the scenes, we don't actually know. Everybody doesn't actually know what took place in creating Heritage Day and all those different events.
No, we don't.
You know, everybody doesn't know. You got some people who do, you know what I mean? Like, we went back and talked to, like, you know, Mayor Palmer and other people like that. Like, you know, there was people, obviously, who had a lot, you know, that knew behind the scenes that went on with it.
Right.
With that being said, there was a lot more people that were willing to, you know, be a part of it as well.
Right.
You know, there's a lot of people just be like, yo, let me know what I could do to help you out. You know, let me know what I could do to be able to support it. You know, you had a lot of people that were willing to do that, you know. So when people turn around and say it can't be done, my only thing to them is, you know, what steps are you willing to take to see if it can be?
Right. That's just like, I just recently DJ'd at an event, and it's called, it was in the Patello Gardens in Princeton. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? And it's called Story and Verse, where it basically was an open mic for poetry, but it was outside. It's a nice event. I supplied the sounds, the mic, or music for them to come up on the stage. So, you know, they let them do, and it's something that they do. From when, you know, me doing it at that time, it's something that they do every third Thursday of the month. But this was the first one they did outside, and I happened to be the guy that DJ'd it. It was third Friday. I'm sorry, not third Thursday, third Friday. But it was a nice vibe. And I'm like, this is really just up the street from where we at. You know what I mean? I think the thing that, I say all this to say that things don't happen in the community we grew up in because people just don't believe it can. But of course it can. If you get the right energy, the right people behind it, it can happen. It definitely can happen.
Especially considering when it's 50 to 60% of the same people that was there.
That's what I'm saying. It ain't changed.
Like, what do you mean it can't happen? The essence never left. Like,
right.
We as the people are the essence of it.
Right.
That's why I said it's more of a choice, not circumstantial. Because
right.
You know, people. Oh, well, I don't feel safe.
Yeah,
I understand that.
You don't feel safe, but then you still end up at First Fridays.
Yeah, anywhere that you willing to throw the dice.
Right. So
anywhere you don't feel safe doing a block party on your street, but you'll go anywhere.
May all these people, you know, to their family and rest in peace. But you know, Buffalo, they just went to the supermarket, man.
Yeah,
that's all it was. In Texas, these kids just went to school.
Yeah.
You understand what I'm saying? So
I understand.
Love needs to be shown, and we got to just stop always focusing energy because the universe is real. If you think, man, look, summertime, it's just going to be hot, niggas going to be acting stupid, then that's what you're going to be around.
Well, you're already saying what you want to draw.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? You're already saying what you want to draw, you know. People are scared to have annual anythings anymore.
Right.
And that's all you need really to start. I mean, let's get it. Like, you know, you got these people out there that's organized cigar Sundays and things like that. I tip my hat to them because those are people, I guarantee you, that anybody that's a part of that, they remember the block parties. They remember the other different events that were regular annual events every summertime. And, you know, the fish fries that mom and dad used to throw all the time. People were asking years. It was 10 years after mom and dad had threw the last one, and people were still talking about, yo, your mom and dad having the fish fry.
Nah.
Like, nah. You
They
know,
ain't had that shit in 10 years.
but for no rhyme or reason, other than the reality that life changed, and I guess participation and whatever. But what I'm saying is people enjoy those moments. We enjoy those things. If we enjoy it, y'all, and when the summertime comes and these opportunities present themselves, you got to make a chance. You got to make a chance. You got to make a choice. You got to take a chance. You got to do these things.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I just had a video I created, a little while ago, a couple weeks ago on my motivational moment, and it was just an explanation of survival in life.
Right.
You know what I mean? We teach a person how to survive. It's from point A to point B in that very moment, how to get from that page to the next page. That's the basic concept of survival.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
Continuation.
Before we used to live. Now we're just trying to survive.
Right.
And that's what I think the difference is primarily between all of this. We just pick a summertime because that's the season that we happen to be in right now.
Right.
But that's the
drums, please.
It's drums, please. Exactly. Every time and every place that came on. Even when I was on vacation a couple weekends back, man. They played that at the pool. The DJ came out there. Every race of people.
Yeah.
Even though it was it was Will Smith and all these weeks, some weeks back, and it was he was horrible. He wasn't, he was a bad
they gonna
guy
sing Summertime.
They put Summertime on, bro. Guess what? Summertime out there drinking Bob Marley's and Miami Vices.
Yeah.
Whatever else the drinks that they like. They ain't think nothing about no Oscars.
Right.
Or whatever. Was it the Oscars or Grammys? What was it?
Oscars.
I said, I forgot.
Oscars.
They ain't think anything about the Oscars.
Oscars is film, Grammys music.
Got you. So the Oscars, you know what I mean? They weren't talking nothing about it. They out there word for word.
Right. That ashtray didn't come past though, right?
No.
Because I know you. You would have hit him. You would have hit him.
Nah. That would have had that batch would have had chlorine on it. That was chlorine.
That's how it would have sounded, B. That's how it would have sounded. Okay,
yeah. Whatever it sounds like when it hits the water. And I don't think it splashes. I think it's just like
yeah.
I think it sizzles in. You know what I'm saying?
What we got this week, man? This or that or
this week, man. Let's get into this or that, baby. Let's do it.
Welcome to another episode of This or That, where P's gonna ask me a series of questions, man, and we gonna sit here and I'm gonna try to answer, man, the best way I know how, man. I'm gonna keep saying, man, let's get to the show, man.
Welcome to another episode of This or That. Like he said, where I ask him a series of questions and he eventually gives me an answer. We're gonna get right into it. Old school, think about it from this perspective, man. Gotta kind of go back, blast from the past. Sunglasses or a visor?
Now, my only question is this.
You can wear the visor any way you want to.
No. Are we in the old school or are we now?
Back then.
Back then.
We were talking about the old summertime. Back then.
I'm going to go with the visor. Because
now is it flipped up or you got it down regular?
Down regular, covering my eyes. Because I always used to kind of like lose my shades, but I never lose my hat.
Yeah. So the visor, no doubt.
Yeah,
No doubt.
right. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
With the reflector joint in it too. What? Remember the visor used to have a little reflector under joint?
Yeah. I remember that.
I'm going to get me one.
It's back windbreaker times, man.
Yeah.
We can. Well, if you wasn't wearing,
Uncle Steph was the king of windbreakers. Uncle Steph was the king of windbreakers, man.
I'm telling you, man. It was his style, though.
That was his style.
It was his style. You know what I mean? If you had it zipped up, though, you might stink when you unzipped it.
Yeah.
You can sweat underneath it a little bit.
Yeah.
Especially now.
Never Uncle Steph, though.
Nah. Well, he was cool. He had it zipped down. Yeah. And on top of that, you know.
Even if he zipped it up, he was still the legend, man.
You got to get the officials. They had little holes in it for air.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Now, what's the names, though? They'll tear you up. Colombians? The whole Columbia?
Yeah. That was a rain suit.
And it was either raining inside or outside, but you was getting wet.
Yeah.
All right. Have the sunroof open or closed. Summertime.
Sunroof was open sometimes.
Okay. Are you a convertible guy? Right, convertible, or I don't know, not a convertible. Summertime.
I've drove a convertible in the summertime. I gotta be in the mood. So depending
Why
on
is
the
that?
day, just how I was. I was actually in Miami. Was it Miami or Orlando, and that's when Busted Baby was on. I was on I-4 with the music blasting. She got me speeding in the fast lane, pedal to the floor, man, trying to get back to her. And I was just get good.
Yeah, there was one more part you leaving out that you was definitely involved for
No,
you to do that.
no, never, P. Come on now.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
trying to put the bullshit out there. This guy here.
No, no, no. I was talking about funnel cake. It's cool. Um, okay, so would you rather change the world or change a person?
Um,
Present, present time. After everything that we done discussed today about dealing with, summertime and some of the blasts from the past.
I don't think you could change either one. But I would go with the world because my biggest thing is I would just try to have this inflation go the other way, man. You know, this money just don't. It don't have to be this. It don't have to be like this. Like I don't care what nobody say. It doesn't have to be like this.
Yeah, yeah, it doesn't. I mean, all right. So, like you said, we're having a conversation the whole time about this summertime now, summertime then, present time or a blast from the past, memory wise.
Um, always blast from the past if you going
Yes,
memories.
sir. I knew it.
Mhm.
He's been chasing a blast from the past the entire time, yo. I knew it. I finally got into it.
Not that type of blast, P. Why are you trying to do this to your little brother, man? I'm
My
talking
little,
about
bro-
Heritage Day.
my little brother is in his 40s. He ain't been my. He's been a grown man a long time. So yeah, that's all right. You can try that if you want. All right, so moving on.
Yeah, this
You
is a
know,
blast from the past. You was something else,
okay,
man.
okay. Rich friend or poor friend doesn't say if they were a good friend or a bad friend. That's weird. But rich friend or poor friend.
I'm gonna say, whichever one is a real friend.
Right. That's what I'm saying. Like it's
Whichever one
if
is a
you,
real friend, it
yeah.
don't matter because I'm gonna get that's your money.
Right. Right.
It's not
And you
mine.
can be and one don't and one doesn't
And
define
if
the
you
person.
poor, you could definitely be there for me spiritually, motivationally. You know,
Mm-hmm.
so whichever one's a real friend.
Got you. Got you. Farmers market or grocery store
What am I buying?
for vegetable. I mean for all right, fruits and vegetables.
Oh,
Produce.
I like the farmers markets.
Yeah. I had to add
I
stuff
went to
on there. They
Columbus.
leave it too wide open.
I went to Columbus not too long ago. You say leave it too wide open. What you mean? Oh, that question like that? Yeah,
They don't put enough to them. So some of these
yeah,
things I have to kind of like
yeah.
give you an honest
Ag, yeah,
question so
yeah.
you can actually answer it. Um, there it is right there. Are you more of a breakfast or a lunch person?
I'm actually more of a breakfast person. If I eat a good breakfast, I don't need a lunch. But when I don't eat breakfast, I tend to eat BS for lunch because now I'm starving.
Yeah, overcompensate or kind of
Right.
gouge a little bit different. All right, buy a house or pay off college.
Mm.
I know,
Um,
I know. I liked it though. I had to pick
that's a
that
good
one.
one.
I like it.
You gotta go to college to be able to pay it off. So, buy a house for me.
Yeah, yeah. So I've already shared my opinion about it. We have already shared it in
I mean,
terms
even though
of
I do
the,
have my associate's degree, like, but
which is a great thing. I think that it does depend on when in your life. And I do think it depends on what's the next move afterwards. If
right.
you're a person that's going to move around, in your career that you're going to college for requires you to move around, then that's going to be your focus because buying a house, is going to be something that you're not too concerned with anyway. You're consistently moving around on all the time.
Mm-hmm.
But if it's the other way, then it means something. All right. This is weird, but whatever. A flat tire or a broken steering wheel.
Give me a flat tire, man. All I'm gonna do is change it. The fuck you mean a broken? What the?
Right.
What is that?
Right. Yeah, it's what happened. You know.
Hey, I want to know who with that. Well, whoever created that question, was it blow or was it edible? Like what? What was it?
No. Option A.
Yeah.
You don't even need an or. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
In it. You know what I mean? Culturally, man. You know, I think we have more appreciation for this when we get older. But would you rather visit a museum or a library?
Honestly, man, quiet as I think a library. And I'm gonna tell you what changed. I just DJ'd a couple weeks back the 120th anniversary of Trenton's Free Public Library, right? And what they had for the kids, because see, a museum is going to cost you money. Most libraries are free, and they got food pantries there. They got classes there. If you got a device, you can plug it up and go on the internet. So if you're in a position, you go to museums to learn about history, but you can go in the library and start history.
That's true.
So
or find it out and
yeah, but you could do both. You could learn it, but then you could be in the library and fill out job applications online and see if you could do some volunteer work there. I'm not saying the museum won't allow that, but you're really just going there to see and to get educated. Whereas at the library, you can get educated and make and execute on some things.
That's true.
So
yep. Okay. Fun conversations or deep conversations?
I like them both. It depends on the setting.
Man, my man, that was my exact response to that as well.
Yeah, it
I
depends
think
on the setting.
if you're in, I think that you can have a fun, deep conversation.
You definitely can.
I think that as long as the conversation is meaningful, I think is what matters more to me than anything else. I don't care what you talk about. If you wasting words, it's not going to be productive. It's just a waste of time. With that being understood, I agree with you. I'm a person that it is dependent upon the setting,
Right.
on which one I would want to entertain at that particular moment. That's what I got for you this week, brother.
That was another episode of This or That. Get back. Before we wrap up, Pete, what's a great memory? Summertime memory. Just pick one that you'll never forget. You ain't got to know what year it was and all that, but just a great summertime memory that always will stand out in your mind, man.
Mr. Chucky and Coleon racing in the street.
I thought it was black.
Okay.
I thought it was black. It was black.
It was black.
Yeah.
Mr. Chucky
And black.
Black racing in the street. Shout out to both of them.
Shout out to both of them.
Shout out to Mr. Chuck.
Yeah. With me,
the race started off very interesting.
With me, it's gonna always be, man, summer league. It doesn't matter what particular season. It's just, I remember just the love of basketball that I had and how I would get up there early so I can get that seat. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And those games.
Oh, I didn't realize that you meant like a particular event. I thought you just meant one particular.
Oh no, it was either way. No,
because mine would still be the same thing I said earlier, Heritage Day.
Right. Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I loved Heritage. What made Heritage Day special? It was one day, or one weekend, Saturday and Sunday.
Yep.
But
jazz and all of that
yeah,
stuff. The live
all
jazz,
that.
Everything.
That's another thing I miss too. Jazz Fest.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's what I'm saying, man.
Yeah. Jazz Fest.
Bro, it was wide open. It didn't cost you anything to go down there and share the experience. Mm-hmm. You went down there, you took your chair, you can catch the bus to a certain point, and then you had to, get out and walk the rest. You could walk there if you wanted to. You could drive there, and
Right.
And I just miss it. I miss it. They
Right.
do kind of like you said the neighborhood something night now,
National Night Out.
national night out, and shout out to whoever's putting those together because once
Well,
again
that's
I'm gonna
all over
say
the
it.
country. That's just the world.
Yeah, well, whoever inspired those things, those events, I know that you have to be a person who remembers those times that me and E talking about, and I just appreciate you for trying to keep that the spirit of coming together like that as a community alive, and like I said, man, from the brothers on the porch, man, we encourage it, man. Get out there and live life, man. We do live in tricky times. I understand it, and you can't open your doors and open yourself up to everybody and every place. But even small gatherings and stuff like that at the house. And I know we just went through a different set of years, y'all. And then even coming out of it, some of the things that I think you see is like it's people reacting to being let loose, for lack of terms, back into the world.
Right.
And so if we work together, you know what I mean, and we take the time to really look at how we can impact change, and we can show them some of the things that we remember for those who remember those things, and introduce them to a different, level of community and camaraderie and all of these different things. I think that we can turn things around, but it's going to take some work. It's going to take some collective effort. Summertime's a good time to start doing it.
Right.
Kids are out of school. Try to be able to be influential, even if you can impact one or two kids or one or two people, man. You got to start with someplace. You got to start, building the foundation. And it's built on, happiness, peace, joy, and all the things that made us, enjoy life.
And with that
That's my
said,
feeling about summertime.
this is the Porch Podcast. Do remember that you can tune in and listen on all your available podcast streaming sites. iHeartRadio,
Absolutely.
Audible,
Mm-hmm.
Stitcher,
Spotify,
Red Circle,
Radio Public.
Apple Podcasts,
Absolutely.
Google Podcasts, Amazon Music.
Amazon Music. Yep.
And if you want to see our handsome faces, YouTube at the Porch Podcast. That's DAPORCH Podcast.
Absolutely.
And as you know, every new episode is every Thursday. You hear the streaming site. So you can hear the audio in the morning, and all the video premieres 7 p.m. on Thursday evenings.
Absolutely. Absolutely. As we say each and every week, tell a friend to tell a friend. Please like, comment, share, subscribe. Listen, man, leave comments, y'all. We love to talk about everything, Holla at us, man. We support businesses. We don't have no problem with helping people and getting established. If you out there and you trying to work to be an entrepreneur and, you want to just, talk and find ways to be able to plug in with us. Look, man, we live in an informational world where all of these things is availability. Let's help each other, y'all. Let's get back to the things that we used to do that we're fully capable of doing. As we say each and every week, we thank y'all for taking the time. This has been episode number 70. Where we at? 79.
79.
Summertime, man. We look forward to seeing y'all next week, y'all.
All right, y'all. Peace.
Peace.